appreciate you taking the time to do that. That's great, man.
So what can you tell me about the album? What was your inspiration, the process behind it, and the songs?
Well, yeah, the whole thing started where I realized that I had a little time to make a record when Firehouse came off the road this past winter, and we came to the realization that we weren't going to make a record as Firehouse, and I wanted to come out of the winter with an album, and I didn't have time to write an album, so I thought I should do an album of cover tunes. And my initial idea was to do an album of cover tunes of my favorite guitar players and favorite bands, favorite influences, and then I realized that all these favorite bands and guitar players have been covered by so many people so many times that it wouldn't be that special. So I sat down and thought about it for a while, and I thought, I should go back to the period in time in music history right before rock and roll was born and learn what music was being played then that sort of gave birth to rock and roll. And I found out that there was bluegrass happening at that time, there was gospel happening at that time, and there were blues happening at that time. And those three genres kind of molded together and gave birth to rock and roll. So I thought, well, let me look into some old songs from that era, from those three genres. And I found 8 that I'd never heard of before. And I thought, this will be fun to get out of my comfort zone and do some music that I've never done before, that I haven't heard before, so it wouldn't be at all planned or anything. It would be a complete learning experience for me, and I could throw in some different instruments and some different. You just try some different things, take some chances, and do some more stuff. And as I was, figuring which songs to come up with, which half the time was to figure out what the next song was going to be, because like I said, I wasn't familiar with 8 out of 10 of them. I decided on 2 songs that I was familiar with that I really liked a lot. One of them was Hit the Road Jack by Ray Charles, which
classic.
I always thought was such a great song. And another one was a song called Walk Beside Me, which was a contemporary song by a couple of guys named Tim O'Brien and Daryl Scott, who have written songs for the Dixie Chicks and for a bunch of people. And they did a record together called Real Time, and the first song on that record is called Walk Beside Me, and it just knocked me out. And when I heard it, I felt like that was a song I really wanted to cover one day, and it came time to make a cover record, so I thought it was time to put it on there. So 8 of the songs are late 1800s, early 1900s, and then 2 of the songs are, well, I guess Hit the Road Jack came out in the 60s, and Walk Beside Me came out, I guess, in 2003 or 4 or something like that. So
now let me ask you, you're obviously known as the guitarist of Firehouse. Here you have to sing. How is that to take those duties for you?
It's so much fun. I love to sing, and I've been lucky to sing on 3 Firehouse songs. I sang a song on the O2 record called I'm in Love This Time, and they let me sing another couple on this last record called Prime Time. That was called I'm the One, and the other one was called Holding On. And, I did a solo record back in 2003 called Wanderlust, and I sang those songs. So.
Yeah, that was a great album, by the way.
Oh, thanks so much. And then, I decided to do an instrumental record. I've always wanted to do instrumental stuff, and then that was called Southern Exposure. And then this one, I thought, I want to do some singing again. And these old songs, something about the melodies that they had back then, and the keys fit my voice well, so I didn't have to strain too much on the high notes. And I could just sing instead of shout. And a lot of the instruments that are used aren't really like the big wall of guitars and the huge drum kits and all that you got to kind of shout over. It was more of an intimate kind of singing, which is probably more in keeping with what my vocal style is without having to push too hard. And so, there's some straining and some pushing and some gravel on some of these songs, but for the most part, it's singing. And
do you think on future solo projects and maybe future Firehouse albums, we'll hear you singing some more?
I don't know. I just never know what the future holds. I try not to think too much about that. I just try to think about what I'm doing at the time, and as long as I'm having fun doing it and everything's enjoyable, then that's all I can really ask for. In the future, I mean, CJ's our lead singer, and we got a great lead singer.
Oh, yeah.
When you got a guy like that, why would anybody else want to sing? But some of these songs that I write, I just throw out there, and I'm like, hey, guys, if you want to use this song, it fits my voice well. There aren't a whole lot of songs that come down the pike that fit my voice well. I'd really like to sing this. If you don't want to have it on the record, then I'll be happy to put it on my next solo record or whatever. And, the guys voted to have the last couple songs on the last record, which I thought was really nice of them. And I don't really, try to go out of my way to sing on a record, but if a song inspires you and you write a song and it fits your voice, then it feels good, then it's something you kind of feel close to.
Now, let me ask you, what is up with Firehouse these days?
Well, we're playing a lot of gigs. We're out usually on the weekends. We typically fly out to play gigs, so we'll fly out on a Friday morning and fly home on a Sunday night and do a couple of gigs, Friday and Saturday night.
Right.
We plan on doing another record this winter. We're talking about getting that all figured out, and maybe we can get it all done this winter. If not, maybe it might take till spring, and who knows? We definitely want to make sure that the album is up to snuff and that we're all happy with it before we put it out. But
big guitars on that?
I beg your pardon?
Big guitars on that, big drums?
Oh yeah, we definitely. We don't want to try to reinvent our wheel as far.
So no techno.
No,
you're sticking.
No.
You're sticking with arena rock, big.
Yeah, that's what we really enjoy doing. I mean, but
that's what the fans like.
Yeah, that's what we love too. And within that scope of arena rock, though, you can still break out the acoustic guitar, and you can still break out.
Your acoustic album was brilliant.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. It was
Absolutely.
a fun one to make. But you can still stretch your wings a little bit within the arena rock sound, but for the most part, I think what we want to really do and what we're talking about is staying true to our roots and doing hard rock or soulful melodic hard rock, and that's what we love.
That's the way to do it. Now, let me just ask you one more question about the future solo projects. This one is more off the road. It's a covers album. Are you going to do another covers album, or what do you think you'd like to do, or an instrumental the next time out? What do you think you'd like to do?
Man, I don't know. I mean, it would be fun to do a melodic hard rock record as a solo record, but I really haven't given it that much thought. I really what I have to do is go down and just start writing something, and then whatever it calls for, I want to try to do. I don't want to try to go in and say, hey, I want to make a funk record. Although I'd love to make a funk record. It's something I really love these days. It's funky rhythms and maybe put heavy guitars on it and good bluesy melodies and stuff like that.
I could see that coming from you, actually. That actually would work.
Yeah, I've thought about that. But what I really need to do is just write some songs. And if I have a funk song and a kind of a southern hard rock song and a European-sounding rock song and then something else, then so be it. The cool thing about doing solo music, or solo projects, I should say, is that it really doesn't matter. I don't do it for anybody but myself.
Right.
If it sells well, that's great. If it doesn't, I really don't care. I'm only doing it to please myself, and I don't have to please anybody else. If it does, then that's just wonderful, and I'm so happy if somebody likes it. But I really want to make a record that I enjoy listening to, and so far I've been able to do that.
And now, where should people look for you on the web?
Oh, man, thanks for mentioning it. My website is Leverty.com. It's L-E-V as in Victor, E-R-T-Y.com.
Great.
And, of course, the Firehouse website is FirehouseMusic.com. And, if you want to contact any one of the guys in the band, you click on contacts there, and it sends an email to whoever you want to talk to.
Right, it's the actual guys. It's not a publicist.
That's right. We can't afford a publicist.
No, I'm sure you can, but it's great. Yeah, it's great to have that one-on-one contact.
Well, we like that, and that's why we after all our shows we go out and we meet everybody, and it takes an hour or two more, but it's better than just going back to the hotel and flipping TV channels. We like hanging out with the people and having a cold drink and hanging out and telling jokes.
Yeah, that's what rock and roll is all about.
That's what I think.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you, Mitch. Thanks for your support for so many years, and thanks to all your listeners and readers and everybody out there. I appreciate it.
No problem. We'll talk soon.